give us a medium that gives any of our experience as an interpretation of our brain or mind, and that it's also a medium, brain is again a medium. Those interpretations finally makes a impression on our subconscious also, or at something which makes us very identity what we are living. In the end, it all goes.
Don't use that. You are in the front. Just speak. Don't use that. The words getting disturbed. Yes, speak. That is all right. That is all right. But finally, I am not worried about that. And now, who is the experiencer? Where is that me? Now, don't say probably. If I have not understood, let me say I have not understood. Okay? You are right saying that these are the filters. Brain is also a filter, eye is also a filter, my intellect is also a filter, and mind is also a filter, right? Through all this processing, there is an experience. So, who is that experiencer? That is the question. Bhagavad Gita says that this experience is the conscious being. But more important than that, it is very easy to say, my experience, the experience is my consciousness. How do I know that? That's very simple to understand. I give you a simple example. Put anesthesia, make the consciousness level 0. Anything happens to this part of the body, you don't experience. The brain is there. Do you follow? The brain is there, but you don't experience. What does it mean? Any part of the body to do anesthesia, and anything that happens to that you can't experience. Everything, all parts of your body is restricted. Okay? That means when I make, first, I am not making anything based on my own speculation. I am taking this statement from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says that which pervades the entire body is consciousness. And that way you can easily recognize you are a conscious being, right? Any part of the body, something happens, I am conscious. I feel, I react, right? This consciousness is also an experience. This is what yesterday I was telling. My seeing, my hearing is an experience. This experience is happening in my consciousness as per Bhagavad Gita. But my consciousness is also an experience. Okay? So what I want to say, what is my purpose of this? I just wanted to let you know that what is your age now? 25. 21. And what is your age? 18. And I am 50. 18, 21, 50. Right? Okay, let me not put myself in that bracket because you may say, okay. But the idea is that now for 18 years, 21 years, you have already grown up, right? For 21 years or 18 years, some of you are 30 years. But you never ever discussed about it, thought about it, wanted to understand it. Isn't it? Did you ever ask this question? Just like Krishan was getting a little embarrassed, how to speak. The fact is, it's a simple thing. I'm seeing, and seeing is simply an experience for me. And rest, the science may say, okay, in the brain, some processing is there. The visual cortex, you have 11 channels. Those are all, there's nothing to do, because finally saying all those things, it is not explaining who is the experiencer. Science is not finally telling you who is the experiencer. So how can you speak about the experience without the experiencer? Who is that experiencer? So always try to recognize there is an experiencer within you. Who is that experiencer? Now the question is, there are different levels of experiencer in our body. That's a deep topic. But ultimately, the ultimate experiencer in the body is the soul. Soul experiences everything in his consciousness. But the consciousness may pertain to the material consciousness or may pertain to the spiritual consciousness. But as far as we are all concerned, most likely we are always experiencing things in the material kind. That is why it is stated that I must start purifying my experience. It is same as purifying my consciousness. When you purify your consciousness, then you are progressing towards the dharma of the soul. If I fail to purify my experience, I will not be able to understand my dharma. But that's a very difficult thing. But the easiest thing is, Bhagavad Gita says this is your dharma, you act in that platform, you are automatically purified. This is the easier thing. Do you understand what I am saying? So in Jnana Yoga, I try to purify my experience by philosophical analysis, where I say, in my experience, this part of the experience is temporary and hence not me. This part of the experience is pertaining to me, the real me, because they are of eternal value. So that becomes Jnana Yoga. In Karma Yoga, I perform actions but gives the result to Krishna. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhasi, drasi yad. Yad tapasvasi kaunteya, tad kurusva madarpanam. Madarpanam. Very simple. Yad asnasi, whatever you eat. whatever sacrifice you are performing, the dasiyat, whatever charity you are giving to others, yet tapasasi, whatever austerities you are performing, tat kurusva, you do all of them, madarpanam, as an offering to me. That is what Krishna is saying. That means when you connect all your actions to Krishna, it becomes karma yoga. All yoga system is meant to purify your experience, to know who is the experiencer. At one level, the body is the experiencer. You go little subtle, you will see mind is the experiencer. You go further, then you will see your intellect is the experiencer. You go further, you will see your false ego, ahankara, is the experiencer. But you further go, you will see the soul is the experiencer. And that is the wisdom, dead end. And I want to reach the dead end, who is the ultimate experience. And that is the basis for karma. I do not want to perform action and finally I die like an animal. An animal cannot understand these aspects. The actions pertaining to the animal is four things: eating, mating, sleeping and defending. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending. Is that clear to everybody? An animal does anything is for this four thing. Khana mil gaya, immediately, if he is feeling hungry, he will go. Not feeling hungry, he will not eat. Right? Eating, mating. If it is the season of what they say is season of mating, so the animals will look for their partners. Partner means anybody, they have no social ethics anyway. Sleeping, and when they feel threatened, they will attack, or they will try to defend themselves. Now, if as a human being, if I do this fourth thing, can anybody repeat the words? Ahara, Bhaya, Nidra, Maithuna? Jayanta.
Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Nidra, Samahita, Shudhira, Dharmo, Nidesha, Madhiko, Shishu, Dharme, Ganita, Shudhira.
It's not very clear. You speak without the mic. That's the one.
Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya,
Where ahara bhaya, ahara nidra bhaya, maithunasya, samanya. So, what is meaning of that? That if anybody in the body of a human being is only doing this fourth thing, that is eating, mating, sleeping and defending. अगर मैं सिर्फ ये चार कर्म कर रहा हूँ, खा रहा हूं, ओके, और मैथुन क्रिया कर रहा हूं, सो रहा हूं और डिफेंड को क्या कहते हैं? सुरक्षा कर, अपना सुरक्षा कर रहा हूं। अगर ये 4 चीज मैं कर रहा हूं, पशु भी समाना धराना, मैं पशु की समान हो गया। पशु और मेरे में कोई अंतर है नहीं, क्योंकि पशु भी ये 4 चीज करता है। These 4 things are also done by the animal. हाँ, धर्मो ही धर्मो ही एको अधिको विशेष। So dharma is something that is only meant for human society. You cannot define dharma for animal society. पशु समाज के लिए हम धर्म की व्याख्या नहीं कर सकते हैं। पशुओं को आप इकट्ठा करके उनको शिक्षा नहीं दे सकते कि भगवान है। भगवान है करके उनकी समझ में नहीं आएगा। सिर्फ मनुष्य को समझ में आता है कि भगवान है। सो धर्मो ही एको अधिको विशेषा। अगर धर्म नहीं है मेरा पास, मैं पशु हो गया। I am a human being for the name's sake, but I am an animal. I am an animal. मैं सिर्फ एक पशु हूँ। अगर मैं 4 चीज, आजकल दुनिया में लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? एक 4 ही चीज करते हैं, धर्म को भूल गए। They do not really enter into the most basic fundamentals of the existence. Forget about the existence of the universe, existence of others. I even don't care about my own existence. I am so engrossed about my own eating and sophisticated eating. कुत्ता जो है रास्ता में कुछ गिरा है खा लेता है। A dog eats whatever it is there in the road also he can eat. मैं क्या करता हूँ? मुझे एक अच्छा प्लेट चाहिए, हैं? सोने का प्लेट हो तो और अच्छा है, हैं? चांदी की प्लेट हो, स्टील की प्लेट हो, वो अच्छा है, हैं? ताज में, रेस्टोरेंट में ताज पता है क्या भाई? मुंबई में जो है यहाँ पे बहुत प्लस है, ताज है ना, तो वहीं पे टॉप फ्लोर में बैठकर अगर खाना खाओ तो कितना अच्छा होगा। Actually, the taste that dog derives eating on the street and taste that you are deriving while sitting on the Taj, actually no difference. Don't feel offended by that. क्योंकि उसको भी संतुष्ट, मतलब he is also feeling satisfied by eating and you are also feeling satisfied by eating. If you are not hungry, you will not eat even the top of the glass, and he is also not. The kind of satisfaction he derives and the kind of satisfaction you derive, there is actually no difference. Philosophically. तुम कहेगा मैं अच्छा खाना खाया, वो भी कह रहा है मैं अच्छा खाना खाया। नो डिफरेंस। और आजकल तो डॉग इज्जत दिया ही सबके घर पे, so he is eating whatever you are eating. So you cannot say, you know, dog is enjoying less and you are enjoying more. Is that clear to you? So all these things जो पशु करता है और हम भी करते हैं, उसको थोड़ा सा सोफिस्टिकेशन है। कुत्ता के पास आप जाएंगे वो कहेगा बो बो बो, वही करेगा। And what you will do? You may have gone. There is no difference actually. You are little more sophisticated. नहीं, वो तो उसका गुड क्वालिटी है, उसके बारे में मत करो। मैं कह रहा हूँ ये चार चीज अगर सिर्फ आप कर रहे हैं तो जानवर से आप कुछ बड़ा काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। You are not doing anything better than an animal. That is the point we are saying. Okay? Yes. Some animals have some special qualities. That's the forget, but that's not the part of dharma. That's its nature. Dharma is pertaining to the absolute truth. परम सत्य की जब खोज होता है तब धर्म होता है। आखिर सत्य क्या है? जैसे अभी हमने बताया कि एक्सपीरियंस, इसको हिंदी में क्या कहेंगे? अनुभवी। अनुभवी, अनुभवी कौन है? हमारे अंदर बहुत सारे अनुभूतियां हैं, उसका अनुभवी कौन है? लोग कहते हैं ना मैं ही भुगत रहा हूं, वो मैं कौन है? मैं कौन है? उसकी बारे में अगर हम चर्चा नहीं कर रहे हैं तो हम गलत कर रहे हैं। We are not in the position of a human being. कल हम धर्म के 4 पाव के बारे में बात किए थे। 4 legs of धर्म: सत्य, दया, शौचा, तप। ये 4 चीज के बारे में बताया था। क्यों है ये? क्या मैंने बनाया है धर्म को? नहीं। अगर मैं बनाऊंगा धर्म, वो धर्म नहीं हो सकता है। मेरा और आपके बीच में क्या फर्क है? एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग आई एम फॉलेबल। मैं गलत करता हूं क्योंकि मेरा इंद्रियां हैं, मेरा इंद्रियां सीमित है। क्योंकि इंद्रियां सीमित है और इंद्रियों के द्वारा जो इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास आता है, सूचना आता है, उसको सहारा करके मैं कुछ सिद्धांत लेता हूं। तो ये सिद्धांत कभी सही नहीं हो सकता है क्योंकि मेरा इंद्रियां सीमित है और मेरा वो जो सूचना मुझे जो मिलता है, उस सूचना को लेकर जो सिद्धांत लेने का प्रक्रिया मेरा अंदर है, वो भी परिपूर्ण नहीं है, वो परफेक्ट नहीं है। So that is why if I say this is dharma, this is nonsense. You ask nowadays anybody what is your dharma, he says I decide my dharma. It's a very prevalent view. More and more, whatever I think, that is my dharma. Now suppose 2 of you say whatever I think is my dharma, and this is what everybody is thinking nowadays. And what is your name? Ranjit. So Ranjit and Trishank. Trishank would say whatever I think is my dharma, and Ranjit would say whatever I think is my dharma, and suddenly Trishank would say I will give you. It is dharma. Then you cannot say he cannot give you, because you have already defined whatever I think is my dharma. So if he is thinking to eat you, finished. Do you follow? Do you follow the fallacy of this logic? The moment I say whatever I think is dharma, then whatever he thinks is also dharma. by you or me. Dharmastu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. That's why this is known as Bhagavad Gita. This is not Manushya Gita or Manav Gita. This is Bhagavad Gita. The song of God. That is why this is the Bible for Dharma. Because this is spoken by God Himself. Now, simple logic, just like this house is built. You want to know anything about this house, how will you know? Trisha, because you are in front of me, so I am always with you. No, there is no need. Let me see, because this is not giving me proper. And no, you have not seen many of them. Which record? Good. What is it? Architecture, the design, the blueprint, all those manuals, like we are building a educational institute, and we have this huge book the architecture has given, bill of quantity, everything is there. And now suppose you say, no, I want to know about this house, what I do, let me bend it, and let me bring all the instruments and measure what is in that. That way you will destroy the house. This is the method by which the modern epistemologists, they want to know about this. How are we know about anything here? Now kill a rabbit, try to understand the brain. Or kill a monkey, try to understand the brain. Because you can kill them, because they are innocent. So try to understand, if God has created everything, obviously He has the blueprint or not. And that blueprint is given. Veda is the blueprint. सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय इसके बारे में जो भी चाहिए जानने के लिए वेदा में है. Veda contains everything about this thing. You don't have to go outside. It's not necessary at all. So now let's come to it. So first of all, you got an idea that there is an experiencer within me. But who is that experiencer? If the body is the experiencer, you are finished. Then you are an animal. If the mind is experiencing, then you probably are a sophisticated animal. If false ego is experiencer, you are also another sophisticated animal. Unless you see the experiencer as you, the divine being, the search for truth must continue. Now the question here is that if I have to know who am I, what kind of actions I must perform? This is called yoga system. Yoga means connecting with Krishna, connecting with the absolute truth. So how do I perform action? This is the manual. How do I perform my action? If I understand this, then I know how to perform action. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, broadly there are 4 different categories of yoga system. Karma yoga, dhyana yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. In particular, in Kali Yuga, it is not possible at all to perform Dhyana Yoga. Because for Dhyana Yoga, you have to go to Himalaya or deep forest. Forests are not there. Even Himalayas are no more as secret as it used to be. Okay? And we are not also qualified. Majority of us, we cannot even go to Himalaya and practice dhyana. So that is mostly not possible. So three things are possible: jnana, karma, and bhakti. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in 6th chapter, Yoginam api sarvesam. What is the meaning of yogi? You perform any yoga system, you become yogi. We have some idea. Somebody is sitting in the Himalayan cave, in a lotus posture, he is a yogi. ऐसा नहीं है. आप अगर कर्म योगी हैं तो आप योगी हैं. आप ध्यान योगी हैं, आप भी योगी हैं. आप ज्ञान योगी हैं, फिर आप भी योगी हैं. भक्ति योगी. So, योगिनाम अपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेन अंतरात्मना श्रद्धावान भजते यो मां समय युक्त तममतः. So भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को कह रहे हैं कि ये सब योग सिस्टम मैं कह रहा हूं, आई एम टेलिंग यू, बट among all the yoga system, that person who is intimately united with me through devotional service, Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. That means those Shraddhavan with intrinsic faith, bhajate. Bhajante means they worship, they serve Mam, Krishna. Same yukta tamamataha, he is the best. Okay? So we have all this yoga system. Why Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is the best. That is Krishna's version, not my version. But now let me tell you, in Kali Yuga, in this particular age, anybody can perform Bhakti Yoga. There are 4 orders of the society. Intellectuals. Intellectuals should always try to find out what is noumena behind phenomena. This is a very important step. How many of you have some idea what a philosophical word called noumena and phenomena? Phenomena is an experience. Noumena is the cause of that experience. Simple way. I have some experience. Suppose I am suffering. What causes me to suffer? Like I tell you, if somebody is a yogi, he loses everything, he laughs, he feels more happy. I had a student, his father was always investing in the stock. And he was telling me, whenever the stock prices go down, we will have a heart attack. Right? So the idea is here that if your level of understanding of noumena behind the phenomena is very deep, you will be equipoised both in happiness and distress, success and failure. You will be equipoised. If you understand, आपको समझ में आ रहा है? हिंदी में बोलना है क्या? नोमिना मीन्स कारण, फेनोमेना अनुभूतियां। हर तरह की अनुभूतियां के पीछे कारण क्या है, इसकी खोज जो करते हैं, इनको वैदिक भाषा में कहा जाता है इंटेलेक्चुअल्स। समझ में आया? फिर जो दूसरे को प्रोटेक्शन देते हैं, सुरक्षा देते हैं, वो है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स। समझ में? और वैदिक भाषा में इसको क्षत्रिय कहा जाता था और उसको इंटेलेक्चुअल्स को ब्राह्मण कहा जाता था। And then you have business, कृषि गोरख्या वाणिज्य। खेती करो, गोरख्या करो, फिर वाणिज्य, बिजनेस। ये जो है एक्टिविटीज ऑफ है, वो ये तीन काम जो करते हैं वो क्या है? वैश्य और बिजनेसमैन। और चौथा जो रह गए वो लेबर क्लास। तो ये जो चार ऑर्डर हैं सोसाइटी के, इसको कोई बंद नहीं कर सकता। You cannot say a society can become classless. No, every society will have to have some intellectuals. And that's why Government of India has a scientific advisor, economic advisor. What is the meaning of that? They are intellectuals. They are advising the government. समझ में? And then so these four, so intellectuals, administrators, business class and labor class, ये चारों चीज को हम हटा नहीं सकते, परंतु आपकी गुण के हिसाब से whatever your propensity, it is not possible. Suppose you have no quality to give Surakhya to others and you say I will give Surakhya. Is it possible? No. You have to have that qualities. So one must accept these activities based on qualities. That means I must have a specific qualification. And that is natural. Whether I am fit for a labor class, I am fit for administrative class, I am fit for business class, I am fit for intellectual class, that is based on my quality. मेरा गुण ये तय कर देता है कि मुझे क्या करना है। ये तो बड़ी बात नहीं है। This is not a very important, very complex task to understand. But wherever I may be situated, I can perform bhakti. Each one of us, we can perform bhakti. That is why the last instructions of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshe swami ma sucha. अगर आप सोच रहे हो कि मेरा ये कर्तव्य है, ये कर्तव्य है, ये कर्तव्य है, तो इसको सबको त्याग करना चाहिए। एक ही धर्म मेरा है, मामेकम शरणम व्रज। भक्ति में क्या होता है? पहले मुझे भगवान के चरणों में मुझे समर्पित करना चाहिए। आई मस्ट बी एबल टू सरेंडर टू कृष्ण। ये भावना अगर मेरे अंदर है तो आप भक्त हैं, आप भक्ति योग कर रहे हैं। क्योंकि इस भावना जब हो गया, आप कुछ भी करते हैं, ये भावना उसमें जुड़ा हुआ है। मीन्स whatever I do, this attitude of I being an instrument of Krishna is always connected to all my actions. That means if I am a Kshatriya, my feeling would be always that my job is to protect everyone on behalf of Krishna. Everybody, the cows, the forest, the rivers, the human society, everybody is Krishna's. And hence, I must protect everyone. So in Vedic ages, there was a concept called Praja and there is concept of Raja. And the job of Raja is not to protect human being. That is nonsense. The job of Raja is to protect Praja. And what is meaning of Praja? Everything. Everything. That includes forests, that includes animals, that includes birds, that includes human beings. Praja. Ja means जो जन्म लेता है. Praja means whoever is taken part. It's a broad definition. So when I am an administrator and I have surrendered to Krishna, I do everything on behalf of Krishna. That means I will be more honest, or my honesty will be maximal when I am bhakti yoga. Because I see my service as a service to Krishna. Not simply because I am getting some money and that is why I am doing service. No. Similarly, an intellectual, he says, the ultimate nomina is Krishna. This is what Brahmaji has said. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. This is what we are saying. The nomina behind phenomena. So Sarva Karana Karana. Who is that person? Na Ishvara Parama Krishna. The Parameshwar Krishna. And what is his quality? Na he is Sachidananda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. अनादि, उनकी कोई आदि नहीं है, origin नहीं है. He is the origin for everyone, but he has no origin. Anadi, Adi Govinda. He is the original personality of Godhead. Sarva Karana Karanam. This is statement of the Brahma, the first, foremost among all living beings. So Brahmaji is making this statement, the Krishna is the cause of all causes. So an intellectual is he or she who tries to understand this ultimate noumena, the ultimate cause for everything. That is it. This is called Bhakti Yoga. Similarly, a businessman, he does his business, but whatever profit he gets, 50% he gives to educate people in Krishna consciousness. This is Vedic standard. 50% must be given in educating people in Bhagavad Gita. So this is businessman. And what is 11th class? Now they must be protected. They must be supported. They must be cared. When I was a small child, I being from a farmer's family, so all those laborers who used to come to our house, we never called them by their name. We called them Chacha or Mama. Respectful. And there was an intimate connection. So the idea is bhakti is most conducive in this age. What is time now? 9:05. So I will show you some of these slides quickly. So this I have already told you. Yogina, all of you can recite this. Yoginam api sarvesham. Me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. This is Krishna's opinion. Okay? So, Bhakti Yoga teaches both art of living, art of dying. So this is the information flow. The soul, higher super soul, he collects the intelligence. This is a very big topic I don't want to talk about. And then there is a mind, and mind creates all kind of desires for you, thoughts, feeling. So mind is the sitting place for all these. So this is the information flow. Okay? And super soul is the mere witness. Okay? And when you act in the bodily platform, that my body is everything, मेरा शरीर सब कुछ है, इस भावना में मैं जब कर्म करता हूँ, शरीर को जैसे कि ब्रिटिशर्स आए, before Britishers came, India was a wonderful country. Even the Muslims did destroy the Vedic culture. They might have destroyed our temples and other things, but they didn't destroy our culture. It is the Britishers who destroyed our culture. First thing they brought prostitution, red light area. क्योंकि उनके शरीर किधर थे? उनके शरीर की क्षुधा, the hunger of their body to enjoy sex has to be provided. So it is Britishers who started the red light areas. And their soldiers, they wanted to eat cow's flesh. It is the Britishers who started the cow slaughterhouses. Okay? And their own culture is to drink. So, drinking in Vedic culture was always, looked down upon. But the Britishers, they made Bengali babus very high and made them to sit in their dining table and made them drink and gave them a status. Drinking is very wonderful. So you see, all the four legs of dharma was broken by the Britishers. They only infiltrated this four breaking of dharma principle in our society. Okay? So you see that these, when we act in the platform of this body, then the last greed, anger, pride, illusion and envy, they manifest in me. Somebody was asking why do they manifest in me? The moment I think the body is the experiencer, body is the enjoyer, then these will attack me. What? Lust, greed, anger, pride, illusion, and envy. The moment I say, body is destroyed. Next, when मेरा अंदर में जब त्याग की भावना आ जाता है, नहीं, ये सब गंदा काम है, स्वार्थ से परे मुझे होना पड़ेगा. I have to go beyond selfish desires. So when you start performing the acts of sacrifice, सेवा की भावना जब मेरा अंदर बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, when I am dedicated to service, then you see, here your false ego was dark, you are full of ignorance, and here your lust, greed, anger, pride, illusion, envy, they are shrinking, and you will develop much better qualities like truthfulness, compassion, humility. All these qualities you will develop. And finally, when you see Krishna as your master, you are the servant. Okay? That means acts of sacrifice as an instrument of the absolute truth. As Krishna is saying, Nimitta matram bhava sabhyasach. You become my instrument. You become my instrument. Right? Then, what? There is no more pride, anger, all these things within you, but you will see, you are very merciful. Somebody hits you, but you ask him, my dear friend, are you hurt? Yes, when you are hit forcefully, but you are asking him, are you hurt? Non-envious, equal to all living entities. Sama sarvesu bhutesu, madbhakti lavate param. Sama sarvesu bhutesu. ये नहीं कि वो मनुष्य है, उसी लिए हम काम करें, अरे एक चींटी है, उसको तो मार डालो. ऐसे नहीं. Equipoise in distress and happiness. That's what I was telling. When your level